Hello and welcome back to another bookish video from the Mouse Diva. I have 10 books that I would like to read before the end of the year. 10 before the end.
Moving pictures. Hello there, moving picture.
What's up, Doc?
I've been all around the world. Every city, every place. Always been a restless girl.
So there seems to be a trend going around on Booktube that people are sharing the 10 books that they would like to read before the end of the year, hence 10 before the end. And I have just a few minutes, and I thought I'm going to go ahead and do that because there's a lot of books, actually more than 10, but I'm not going to share more than 10, that I want to read before the end of the year. That's not going to happen. So for my Goodreads goal, I am 6 books short so far. And mainly that is because I read multiple books at a time. I think there's like 6 or 7 that I've already started reading that are in here that I need to finish. So technically I'm not 6 behind, because if you put all those books together, I'm probably maybe only 2 behind if you consider all the pages that I've already read. So in no particular order, we're going to start going through this stack. So I have already started reading, as you can see. I'm a scrap paper gal, even though I have lots of bookmarks. A lot of times just wherever I am. If there's a piece of paper laying around, there you go. So I'm not even quite a quarter way through The Road That Made America, a modern pilgrim's journey on the Great Wagon Road. So it is talking about the wagon road, and plus you guys know I love any books on traveling, and nonfiction. That is basically my main genre. But just a quick rundown of some of the chapters. Part 1, the beginning. God and Good Beer, 600 Miles Nearer the Sun, America's Original Man. Young Daniels. We go into part 2, Heroes and Villains, The Most Important Man in America, 8, The Great Commoner, Faith and Meadow Tea, History Night in New York, part 3, Brother Against Brother, part 4, Awakenings, part 5, Revelations, part 6, The Road Home, and it has a map. You know how I feel about books and maps. Even if it's a fictional map, I love it. So what happened is I saw this book at Barnes & Noble. Cover, the name got my attention. I read the prologue and I was hooked. So it got purchased. So there is number 1 that I would like to read before the end of the year. Right back with another travel book. So I've actually started this, but I don't know why there's not a bookmark in it. So why? Why Travel Matters, a guide to life-changing effects of travel. I picked this book up at the 75% off warehouse book sale. That vlog is up on the channel. I have not filmed the haul yet, and this was back in, I don't know, August, September? I think it was August. The end of August that my sister and I went. So if you haven't checked out that vlog, I'll try to remember to link that at the end. It's November, and I want to throw in at least one Christmas book. Got this at a second-hand bookstore. Maybe the one in Knoxville, Tennessee. I can't remember. But anyway, General Washington's Christmas Farewell, a Mount Vernon Homecoming. So this was written in, let's see, it was 2003. And one of America's greatest Christmas stories, and also one of its very first, from the period between the end of the Revolutionary War and the ratification of the Constitution, was a creation of none other than George Washington. The story isn't just about Washington coming home for Christmas for the first time since the war began, but about the character of the most important founding father and about the precedent he set for leadership. It is a story of a loving husband, a beloved military leader, and above all, a humble, great man. I have started the Vanderbilt era profiles of the Gilded Age. So supposedly this gentleman is a descendant of Vanderbilts. I cannot remember. Oh no, I'm sorry. He's not. His wife is a descendant of the Commodore Vanderbilt, Cornelius Commodore. He's the one that created the family fortune. And then his oldest son, William Henry, which is George Washington Vanderbilt's father. You know, George Washington Vanderbilt built Biltmore, and William Henry actually expanded that family fortune. So this is so this gentleman is talking about a little bit about his wife's lineage and some of the people just from that era. So here's like the construction of Biltmore, but he's not just talking, you know, he's talking about Edith Wharton. You know, she was a friend of George Washington Vanderbilt, the one that built Biltmore. I mean, she actually visited. And ironically, The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton. So I am almost done. So this is a Books Inside Boxes. It is a book subscription box, and I am almost done. I'm 3/4 of the way. So this one will definitely be finished. So back to this one. So just a list of different people and associations of the associates of the Vanderbilts. We have the Astors, J.P. Morgan, John Singer Sargent. He was a very prominent portrait painter of the Gilded Age. So anyway, by the way, 6 John Singer Sargent portraits are hanging in the Biltmore house. So all 3/4 of the way done. So I would definitely be finishing that one. And then, so one of my goals for 2026 is to read more Pat Conoy. And so our Prince of Scribes writers remember Pat Conoy. So this is just different basic essays from a whole bunch of people from Pat Conoy's life. I actually paid well, what did I pay? Well, I paid $30 for this in an independent bookstore, by the way. So this one I've actually been reading for months. I'll read maybe a chapter, which is one essay from one person, before going to bed, and I am more than 3/4 of the way done. This is a chunky book, just because the writing is kind of small, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the different perspectives of the people that Pat Conoy, you know, he affected their life. Something in their life, he affected, and he just, you know, nobody says anything bad about Pat Conoy. I believe he could curse like a sailor, but everybody just has a really good relationship with him, and he seemed to just love everybody. He loved listening to people. He loved their stories, and I wish I could have met him, like went to a book signing, because that's another thing. They said that he would stay hours afterwards. He wanted to make sure that every single person got their book signed, to the point where he was absolutely exhausted, but he did it for the people. So I want to read more of his books in 2026. If you've read a book by him and you have a favorite, please comment below. Let me know, you know, is it Prince of Tides, you know, the great Santini, I think that's right. You know, what is your favorite Pat Conoy book? The Mailman. So this is just, this is not a book that would really be on anybody's radar. Mailman, My Wild Ride, Delivering the Mail in Appalachia and Finally Finding Home. So I actually found this book. Okay, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm scrolling. Books Inside Boxes had like a little drawing, and I won. And so I won a gift card to, oh my gosh, I totally forgot the bookshop. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, so this is the book I picked, and this is really cool. So this is about a guy that during COVID, you know, he lost his job. Here it is, COVID. He loses his very well-paying job. He's laid off. He finds out he has cancer, and he needs to work. Basically, the only job he could find in rural Virginia was delivering the mail. And oh my gosh, the first chapter, his writing, basically his humor, I was all over it. I'm like, this is a man book. Like, a man would like to read this. So I actually told my husband, who reads at a snail's pace, I said, read this. So that's why there's actually 2 bookmarks in here, because we're actually both reading it. I am not quite halfway through, but it's actually just, it's quite humorous and just things you didn't think about. He goes through the whole hiring process, the people he meets along the way. I mean, just little, really cool stories. Like mailman, they have stories, guys. Especially a rural postman, they have stories. David Mccullough, History Matters. I am about 3/4 of the way through this one, and this was published after his passing. This is just a collection of unpublished writings by him. Most of them having to do with history. I'm actually learning quite a lot about Truman. I have all these little notes, but I don't want to share that info yet until I give you a review of the book, until I'm finished. So subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you will know when this review. All right, another one that I am 3/4 of the way through, Writing, Creativity, and Soul by Sue Monk Kidd, the one who wrote The Secret Lives of Bees, which I have not read or seen the movie. But after reading this, I definitely want to do both. I want to see the movie. I want to read the book. I'm not going to say I can't believe. So I am actually not one of those that will read a book that everybody else is reading at that time. I'm just not that type of person. I'm different. It's like I would just wait until, years later and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't read that very popular book. Mainly it's just because I'm reading so many other books. My TBR pile is so high that I just normally do not run out and get But I do have actually a very small pile of pre-releases. They've been released now. Books that I ordered from Barnes & Noble, half off. Books that hadn't, pre-released. You pre-ordered them and you got them for half off. So they are newer books. Actually, History Matters was one of those books. So I do have a couple popular ones there. A Dan Brown book. Yeah. Okay. So Sue Monk Kidd is basically, this is a part memoir, part physiological investigation, part advice to aspiring writers. This is a book about writing that is so much more. It dives deeply into the creative instinct, whatever form it happens to take, to nourish the imagination, and the practice of attention to the mysteries and yearnings of our own hearts. And this is one of those books that I'll read, like if I sit down, eat some lunch in my reading chair where I'm looking out the window at my bird feeder that actually feeds more chipmunks and squirrels than birds. I will read a chapter or two just a few minutes before I'm off to do something else. So unfortunately, this time of year, I am extremely busy and I don't have as much reading time as I do during the other parts of the year. All right, the last book. I need a Christmas book, an actual fiction book. So a holiday yarn, a Seaside Knitters mystery. So it's like a cozy mystery. I don't read a lot of those, but I do seem to read them. I seem to read the holiday ones at the end of the year. The winter time is when I read those cozy mysteries. And this was bought so long ago that I don't even remember what it was about. I pulled it out because I was like, ooh, a holiday book, and it's got Christmas stuff on the front, so I'm including it. In Sea Harbor, the scent of snow fills the salty air, and at Izzy Chambers' studio, the Seaside Knitters feast on cookies, knit their gifts, and plan their gatherings. But not all plans in Sea Harbor go smoothly. Mary has inherited her grandfather's estate, and it is sparing no expense to transform it into a bed and breakfast. Even the Seaside Knitters help to decorate by creating warm throws for each bedroom. When the family gathers for their annual meeting, Mary offers to put up her cousins in the refurbished family home, hoping her gesture will dispel any ill will over her inheriting the estate. But hard feelings are likely the cause when Mary's cousin Pamela is found dead on the B&B's snowy back porch. So cozy reads are normally a very quick read, so I really do hope to get this one read in between trying to finish all those other books. So, out of those 10 books, how many books do you think I am actually going to finish at the end of the year? So I kid you not, every single year, like January 29th, 30th, 31st, I'm cramming. It is like I am cramming for a test. It's like I have to finish before midnight or it just doesn't count. So we'll see how it goes. Until the next page.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I've been all around the world. Every city, every place. Always